How are you going to attract the independents and the Republicans who don't like Donald Trump?
Yeah. I think part of it is being here in solo country, right? And making sure that I take the time to listen and learn from you and others. But I'll also tell you that we bring some experience in doing this from my time in Texas. Last year and in 2017, running for Senate, I visited 254 counties, every single one of them in Texas. We went to the big blue places so as not to make them feel like they were taken for granted. But we also went to the red, rural places. So red you can see them glowing from outer space as you orbit planet Earth. King County voted for Donald Trump 96% in the last election. But we showed up in King County. It's because we believe that no one should be taken for granted. Everyone should be heard and listened to, fought for, and represented. And I have no hope of doing that if I have not shown up first. But I also want to tell you this. I'm the son of a lifelong Republican mother. And we got her to vote for me in this last election. We also got 500,000 of our fellow Texans who voted for a Republican for governor to vote for us on the same ballot. We won independence in Texas for the first time in decades. We saw the greatest turnout of Democrats in a midterm election in the history of the state, and I won more votes than any Democrat had in the history of Texas. And that was by going everywhere, not trimming our sails, talking about the issues that we care most about, having the courage of our convictions, but also listening to and learning from people. And one example to show you how we put it into practice. When I was in Congress, every day for those 6 years, I was in the minority, and I also served on the House Veterans Affairs Committee. And at a meeting like this, I learned that veterans in this country who come back from serving this country, putting their life on the line, if they have an other than honorable discharge, were denied the ability to go into a VA, see a provider, and be taken care of. And though we have a horrifying rate of veteran suicide in this country already, the rate amongst those other than honorable discharge veterans is twice as high. So we wrote a bill, the Honor Our Commitment Act, to make sure that any veteran, regardless of status of discharge, can get into that VA and get life-saving help. But in the minority, though that bill was well-intentioned and well-written, it was going absolutely nowhere unless we could reach across the aisle and find someone with whom we could work. And that inherently meant that we had to compromise a little bit. A four-letter word in both parties right now. But the only way to get to the consensus bill that allowed us to pass it 435 to 0 in the House, get it passed in the Senate as well, and get it signed into law by the one man with whom I thought I could agree on almost nothing, Donald Trump. And yet we found enough common ground to be able to serve those who had stood up to serve this country. So, to those independents in the room, I will work with anyone, anytime, anywhere to advance the agenda of this country. I will put our differences aside in this country and its future before us. And I will also show up to listen to you to make sure that you're part of the conversation. Thanks for asking the question.